We're gonna go ahead and hit that live. I should be live on YouTube, and I'll be live on Twitch and all that in a second. All right, so I should be live on Facebook and on Twitch. Excuse me. Should be live on Facebook and on Twitch now, and should be live on the YouTubes now. Yeah, live on the YouTubes now. All right, y'all. So go ahead and hit that like, hit that like, hit that like. Once again, y'all, appreciate you for y'all for being here. We're gonna try to get some good conversation going. Go ahead and hit those likes, and let's see who can come up to the board or who wants to come up to the board to have that discussion. Y'all already know how I do these. Everybody gets about 15 minutes. Hey, Libra. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Was able to catch up on a lot of work today because work for the past couple of weeks has been slammed. It's been really busy. We got a whole bunch of claims coming from Texas, and then after that, it was hard to catch up on everything else. So, yeah, it was a bit difficult for a bit, but looks like I'm catching up on everything. But y'all tap that screen, all right? Y'all tap that screen, keep tapping it. Let's try to go ahead and get some folks in here. Let's try to get some folks in here. Let's try to go ahead and have that conversation. Yeah, I'm glad I'm caught up too. Really glad I'm caught up. Because boy, it was annoying. Yeah, past couple weeks, past 2-3 weeks it's been a lot. It's been real difficult, but we getting through it because ain't nothing to it but to do it. You feel me? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we got through it. But y'all go ahead and start tapping that screen. Let's try to get some folks in here. Try folks to have some conversations. You can talk about number 1 or number 2. Let me know what you'll like to talk about. Either number 1 or number 2. And of course, I have the line on the board. Well, not the line, but the link to call in. Hey, how's it going? We do have a guest named Jet.
What's the deal?
How's it going, Jet? Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
I think I'm gonna go with number 2. And yes, I am 18, or not 18. I'm 30. So.
All right, cool. All right, so number 2. Yeah, why should I believe in a God? I've never gotten a. Well, when I was younger, I used to believe in a God, but I'm unconvinced at the moment. What do you think is a good reason for me to believe, or why do you think I should believe in a God? Yeah, go ahead. Tell me why you think I should believe in a God.
Got you. So I guess defining it a little loosely first, like I think having a ultimate standard that supersedes us gives us a standard to work with. So.
You know what the problem with that is, though?
What's that?
How do you know that thing exists in the first place to give you that standard?
There we go. Okay. So what's the evidence for God? As opposed to why should you believe in him? Okay. Yeah. So I think we talked a little bit as a while ago, but I think 2 arguments are the strongest to me. It's I'm not sure if you're familiar with like the kalam, and then the moral argument and design. Design's up there for me too. So those would be kind of 3. I'm not sure if you're familiar. I could explain them, but
yeah, I'm familiar with all those, and none of them are convincing to me because kalam, you can it doesn't even lead you to a God in the first place, or even a specific one. It just leads you to some sort of cause of the expansion of space-time, and that could be literally anything. We just don't know yet. The moral one is like that's not convincing for me either, because even if a God were to exist, the morals will still be subjective. And the design one, we're just imposing what we think is designed onto the universe. This is the only one we have. So what are we comparing it to in order to make the determination that it's designed?
Yeah. Okay. Now those are all fair rebuttals. I think going one at a time with the kalam. I think what the kalam does, I don't think it necessarily gets you to a God. So that's a fair argument. I think it gets you to the nature of whatever caused the universe to be like. And so it gets those sort of general things that I think in Christian language we kind of fly by, like all powerful or sovereign, and just kind of words we throw around. But I think when we're talking about space, time, and matter having a origin, then it means whatever is responsible has to be spaceless, timeless, and immaterial, which are a lot of the attributes that Christians would give to God. But I think there's a scientific way to get there that doesn't require you to just kind of, rock with the Bible until you stop thinking. That's probably not convincing, but I think it's just a line of reasoning for the kalam.
I mean, well, the thing is, what I would say is that when it comes to space time, right? The only thing that my own criticism that would be like, this is basically how space time and how we understand it. Because when we get to the when we get to T-1, after the singularity, the hot dense state that the space time expanded from, right? All of our concept of time and matter and space and physics, it all breaks down at that point, which means that whatever that singularity is, we can't describe it with our current understanding of physics. That means that I think science have even said that before. We have to create new physics and maths to understand what we're talking about. You see what I mean? So that means that what that is right there is simply some sort of process or state of existence that we don't yet understand. Now, I don't think that means that it had to be timeless and spaceless. It can be some sort of fix that we don't understand yet. It could still be a natural process. We just don't know what it is yet, and we have to keep exploring physics, keep making discoveries in order to explain it. But it doesn't necessarily have to be immaterial, timeless, spaceless, because if that's the case, how did it do anything?
Yeah, I think quantum mechanics has something to say about that when it comes to like how stuff works being basically almost completely opposite to how we see the physical world working. And so I can definitely see a world where like spirits, frequencies, whatever you want to call them, seem to be the root cause of everything that we know. But I do think with what you said, though, I think that's still fair. Dang, what was I going to go with that? There was something you said that rung a bell. Oh, yeah, it's the fact that our understanding of space-time kind of breaks down at that singularity point. And I think it can be two things. It can be a further exploration of physics, or it could be a limitation to physics itself. If there's a such thing as another realm, physics might not be equipped for it. And we're on the wrong side of this to say definitely which one's right or wrong. But I do think there's I do think there's a good reason. Dang, hold on. What did you say that made me think of that? I think it's it's that time, space, and matter focusing down to a single point that makes me think about, dang, now I lost my line of thought. I don't know if you have a rebuttal to that while I think, but yeah.
No, yeah, all good. I mean, for me, that would just say, yeah, there's probably some sort of other physical realm that we're not equipped to explain yet. You know what I mean? But
there we go.
For me, that would literally just be all that is. We just not equipped to explain what that is yet, and that's essentially it. It's a big I don't know. I don't think that necessarily makes or would put a God in place of that. It would just be a spot of physics that we just can't explain yet. We just don't know yet. You know what I mean? And that's fine. We could just say we don't know what this answer is for now, and let's say that if you are correct, right? It was some sort of supernatural being, then we would need to wait for evidence of that first instead of simply claiming that it is.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. That's what I was thinking of. It was the fact that I think the issue we could be running into, and it's a matter of I'm leaning a direction. I don't like being hard convinced on anything just because I think evidence should be able to change positions, even for me, Christian or not. But I do think when we're talking about like I think the issue we might be running into is I don't think physics and science have a limit as far as what they can measure, but I do think they have a field. Like I think a ruler can infinitely measure to the end of the universe. But if I was trying to see how hot it was outside, that tool isn't equipped for the process. And I think I think there's two things that start to make me lean in the direction of agency, not just like a infinite force, is because, and maybe I need to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel like infinite regression is like a contradiction, or do you feel like that's actually a possibility as far as the origin of the universe?
I'm more agnostic on it, but I don't see it being out of the realm of possibility, where we're just on the, if things go back infinitely, then that means we can still get to this point. It's just been, you know, an infinite amount of time, or I'm not, or you know, it's just been an infinite amount of time in the past, and it'll keep going infinitely into the future. We're just in one of the lines of that infinite line. You see what I'm saying? So I don't see it out of the realm. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but I don't see it out of the realm of possibility. But I'm more agnostic on it because, like, I don't know how infinite past is possible. You know what I mean? Like, that'll be more on the line of probably some sort of physics, or if not physics, some sort of philosophy. I'm not that high in philosophy to understand how an infinite past can actually happen, but I don't see it out of the realm of possibility. We're just somewhere on the line of the infinite past and the infinite future, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I could see that. And I'm not going to act like I got credentials in the time space world, but I do think there's two things just with me thinking about it that run into an issue. And I think one of it is that, like, the argument isn't that, like, as we go back in time, we can't measure that far. The argument is that, like, physics breaks, like it stops working. Not like, we need to go get a bigger ladder, but like the ladder breaks. You know what I mean? I think that's something that tells me, like, this isn't an infinite regression issue. This is like the nature of this thing. The same way that it's like, the magnifying glass, you zoom in, and then all of a sudden matter stops working the same. All of a sudden we have to go into quantum. Like, it's like we're changing realms. And so that's one reason why I'm like, when I think of infinite regression, I think that's working against it, because something's actually breaking, not just getting farther or smaller or something. And then my other thought is, and I don't know if this is as strong, I think this is just my understanding of time, but it's like, if we have an infinite amount of time going backwards, then I don't know how to move forward through time.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. That's why I'm kind of agnostic on it. Like again, I don't see it being completely impossible, but I wouldn't necessarily understand it, because human beings, we're finite creatures. We think of beginning, middle, end. That's how we think. Yeah. We don't think of something going past infinitely or into the future infinitely. We just don't think that. We can't fathom it. So I would for me, it's like, I would assume it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? The example I gave of a line is probably the crudest example. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to explain it better than that. But you know, it could be like a circle. You know what I mean? Because when do you get to the end of a circle? You never do. Yeah, you know. So it could be something like that. But I wouldn't know how to physically or philosophically explain that either. That could be something that's, you know, if it's an infinite past and infinite future, that's because it keeps going in a circle. You see what I'm saying? So it could be one of those things. I'm just not sure. I wouldn't sit here and say that yes, an infinite regress is definitely possible. I wouldn't be able to make that claim or sufficiently back it up. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a fair, I think, agnostic position. I think the only reason my dial's kind of tipping towards agency is because it makes sense if a infinite mind decides to make a choice, then you've got a legitimate starting point for the nature of how stuff began. But again, like, that's not closing off the other options. I think that's just which way I lean. But then to go into a little bit of design, just because I know time's running low, I think moral is that would just take more time. I don't think it's a bad argument. I just don't think, I don't think it's relevant here. But I do think, like, when it comes to design, I don't know, and I haven't ran super hard into these details. A lot of this is me sitting with scientists on both sides saying that, like, we kind of live on a razor's edge needle of a pin of a porcupine's cone. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a crazy amount of, like, if it was the dial was 16 decimal points the wrong way, we don't exist or something like that. And so
yeah,
it's one
exactly.
of those
Like,
things.
no,
Oh, go ahead.
I know what you mean, like the fine tuning thing. Like if we were to
Yeah,
change things a little bit, the universe would not be in existence. Yeah, I get that part, right? But the thing is, when it comes to fine tune, I think a lot of people don't really understand it, because it's like when it comes to that, when you change one dial in the universe, or that's exactly what we're using. When you change one dial, all the other dials are gonna change. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to put a car in drive and in reverse at the same time. It's
right.
that can't happen. You know what I'm saying? And if you try to make it happen, what's gonna happen to your car? Or like, you know, when you're shifting gears, if you don't press the clutch and you shift to another gear, what's gonna happen to your gears, or what's gonna happen to your engine? It's gonna blow out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it is when it comes to the fine tuning of the universe. Is basically, yeah, if you change one dials, things are gonna blow apart, but all the dials have to change at the same time. You have to force the dials to not change in order for that to happen. You see what I'm saying? So what some experiments have found, or some mathematical models has found, is that there can be stable universes, just not life as we understand it, but it can be stable universes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, some of them, a few of them do pop up with life, but it's not like it's like not possible. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's just, from as far as what we see from our current understanding of physics, it is pretty difficult. Yeah, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
difficult doesn't mean out of the realm possibility, or necessarily a design or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I think your argument, it's funny because I can see it both ways. I see it the way you said it, and I also see it as an argument towards fine tuning, in the sense that, like, the only time you shift a gear and everything changes is when you're in a car that was also designed to do so. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in something that's not designed, like if I pull a tree branch off of a tree, the branch is coming with me, the tree staying where it is. Like, it's not until somebody orchestrates. So I'm not saying that this is the only possible universe. It's that, like, it's been built in such a way through so many variables that you start asking the question, like, does a Ford pickup show signs of intelligence behind it, even if we never, see the person who made it? You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where I don't think it's a knockout, but it is something that's given me pause before, when it comes to, like, oh yeah, normally I would register a bunch of systems that don't have minds themselves, that seem to be working together to make something very balanced. Normally that's a case for intelligence for me. But yeah, I guess, what are your thoughts there?
It goes back to, what are we comparing it to? Because when it comes to like a Ford pickup, right, we can compare it to anything else that's mobile, like, you know, humans or animals or anything like that. We know if we go into a forest, there's not going to be a Ford pickup just right there sitting there, you know, along with the other animals. You know what I mean? That's not the way it works. So I always use the example of a silk rose. In order for us to know that a silk rose is a silk rose, what do? We get a natural rose. We look at the cells, we see how it feels, we see how it smells. We can take a look at the insides of it, see that one's made out of metal, and we know that roses are not made out of metal. We know that metal has to be, you know, taken from the ground, from ore and stuff like that, and then formed into a certain way. So we can compare the two to something. But when it comes to the universe, this is the only one we have. We can't step into another universe and say, okay, this is how a natural universe works, and this is how a supernatural universe works, or a design universe work. We can't do that. We don't have that ability. So since it's the only one that we have, how did we make determination that this one has to be designed? It's like we're within the natural rose and saying that it's a silk one. You see what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. I have thoughts, but I know I want to respect the time too.
Yeah, all good. Hey, come back anytime and we could talk more about it.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate the talk.
Nah, bro. I will. Yeah. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all so much. Oracle, I had to put you on mute real quick because your background was loud. All right, so Cyric 666 over in the comments. You can go ahead and come on up. We can talk about number one if you would like. Not a problem. I'm gonna get to Oracle real quick. Just a quick shout out to the chat. If you are in my my chat over on the Volcy Thoughts channel, appreciate you for being here. I do see there's some Christians there saying that Christ is King and yada yada yada. That's all good and well. Go ahead and hit that request button. or actually, I spelled it wrong. My bad, y'all. I spelled it wrong. I spelled my request button wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the chat one more time. And then we guys can come on up. All right, y'all. So you can go ahead and join me in the. Let me put this in the chat. I had a typo there. Sorry about that, guys. I had a typo. But you guys can go ahead and join tiny.cc / volcylive. And you can go ahead and definitely come on up. The Real King over on my YouTube. The link is tiny.cc / volcylive. Just put that into your browser and you'll be able to join me. Same thing over on the Deconstruction Junction. I see y'all talking about, the Democrats or whatever. I'm not a Democrat, so I'm not sure why y'all would bring them up because I'm not a Democrat. But if you want to talk about, why those cities are crap, definitely go ahead and come on up, hit that request button, and we'll talk about it in depth. Alrighty, Oracle, how's it going? I appreciate you being patient with me. Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
Well, first I have to ask you, because I just heard you say that you're not a Democrat. So if you're not, or you like left policies, is that what it is? But you're not a Democrat, but you agree with some of them, or?
I'm pretty sure there's some Democrats that I agree with, like Elizabeth Warren when she said that we need antitrust to break up the big tech companies. She was definitely correct about that.
Was Elizabeth Warren the one that mentioned that if you wore the Native American outfits, it was cultural or cultural appropriation or something like that?
I don't know, and I don't know. I don't really care. I'm talking about like the policy that you talked about the big tech companies need to be broken up. Like she's right about that. So there are some Democrats that I agree with, but I don't agree with their foreign policy, and I think they're very, very weak on domestic policy. They talk about things that I think would benefit a lot of Americans. True, you know what I mean? Like universal education, like subsidized childcare, single-payer healthcare. These are things that a very, very probably except for Bernie Sanders and AOC, and I think Kamala, the last time she ran, they talk about stuff like that, right? But
you like Kamala Harris?
I liked it better than Trump. But the thing is, again, I'm not a Democrat. So when I talk about leftist policies,
I'm with you. That's kind of how I feel about Republicans. So I'm not a Republican, but I like their views better than the left.
All right, cool.
So I'm kind of a little bit of the opposite, but kind of like you, because I don't agree with any of them. I think they're all evil. They all have money. They're all about money, just like most Christians are and most people. They don't care about money, not humanity.
Yeah, exactly. That's really my issue with the right and capitalism, because capitalism requires you to care more about money than you do about people. I just don't agree with that.
That's why when people get in debates about the left and right, I kind of sit out typically because of the fact that to me it seems silly. It's like to me everybody's pawns in a big old game. Everybody's peons to me when they get into that, because who are you really agreeing with? What are really the policies? Really, are you arguing with Trump or are you arguing with something bigger? Because you have to, or you probably understand this, but I think most of the time the people that you're seeing in their faces aren't really the people that you're dealing with. That's not who's changing your country. These people are not, these people are, the only thing I can say I actually like about Trump is the fact that he seems to not really care what people think. That's the only thing I can truly say that I honestly really ever liked about Trump was that he seemed very real. And I'm a person that likes people that are down to earth or that are real. Even if they're a dick, I would rather deal with somebody that was a jerk, that was really who he was, than to sit there and tell me that they're good and play as they're good and they want to do this. And to me, brother, you don't look fake to me, but Kamala seemed very fake to me.
How?
Very fake. She just didn't seem real. When she spoke, it all goes back to feeling emotion. I'm not saying that's fact. I'm saying my feelings of emotions when she spoke on stage and I was looking in her eyes and she was looking back at mine through the TV, I seen a person that was fake. But that doesn't mean anything.
But I see the same thing about Trump. Trump doesn't care about us.
Well, I think he cares about Americans.
He doesn't.
I think he does because okay, my question to you would be,
he cares about rich white people. He doesn't care about everybody else.
Well, the thing I've thought about when I've thought about that, because I've thought about that too, is I thought about, why would he become president What does he have to gain?
Money.
He gave up his first term. He gave away all of his proceeds.
Yeah, he gave up all his proceeds, but the thing is, he never divested from his personal businesses. Every single president every single president except Trump has always divested from their personal businesses. Trump hasn't. And if you look at his personal businesses and his net wealth, it's gone up while he's president. Yeah. So he doesn't care about people.
I believe that they're all evil. I agree with you. I think they're all bad. I believe in God, but I'm not a Christian for that same exact reason. They don't follow what they preach.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to the policies that I think that come from the left, I view them as more human and more humane, and things that would decrease stress in America, and also just increase our personal well-being. Like, for example, childcare is a big thing in America right now. A lot of the reasons why.
Let's talk. Can we talk about the one you spoke on earlier, the universal health care?
Yeah, single payer.
Because you probably have more knowledge in this than me, but I was listening to, these weren't people that were political or anything. These were just like normal people. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to some of the people that were in those countries. I can't remember. I think, is it Canada that has universal health care?
Sort of.
Because they were saying that when you went to the hospital and stuff, that you actually got treated with less care. Mm-hmm. And they said when they came to the United States, their care was a lot better. And do you think maybe, let's say we made healthcare free like Canada or even better. Do you think, because you are a man and I'm a man, mm-hmm. and even though it sounds like we both got good hearts and we're not really about money, right? That sounds like your heart, right? Am I right about that?
That's correct.
Sounds like we really care about the people. Okay, for us, that's different. But for most men, they care about their priorities first. And see, if somebody invites me in their house, and even me, because I care about people, but if I go to help them with their drywall patch, mm-hmm. and I go to help them for free, I'm going to help them. I'm going to get it in there. I'm going to fill the hole, and I'm going to do a decent job. But if I go in their house and they hire me and they pay me $250 to patch that hole, mm-hmm. I'm going to go all out. That patch is going to be clean. Mm-hmm. End to end, it's going to be sanded. I'm going to go through the process. And it's not because I helped them for free that I did necessarily a bad job. It's just I'm helping you for free, so I'm going to do a decent job. Do you think that becomes an issue?
No, because people still get paid. Yeah, people still get paid on a single payer. Like this is the point that I've always found kind of crazy, because like doctors in Canada don't work for free. They still get paid. I mean, doctors in France, doctors in Japan, they all still get paid, and they all have single payer healthcare. So it's like when people say no one was going to work for free, is like.
But America's the same way. I mean, be honest. Let's all be honest. You could go to the hospital right now and get treated for anything, and yeah, you get billed for it, mm-hmm. and you might get something on your credit report. But there's not anybody in America that can't go to the hospital and be treated.
Yeah, you can go to the ER because that's the thing that I was saying, that the ER is.
Well, they'll give you the better doctors too. My father just had a cardiac arrest. Mm-hmm. We didn't have the money. We couldn't afford to get him a good doctor. Mm-hmm. They took him in and they gave him a $50,000 surgery completely not for free. Of course, mm-hmm. we owe it. But my point being is, it's not like that you can't go get cared for just because it isn't said to be free. And even then, it ends up on your credit report. Creditors don't look at healthcare the same way.
Right.
So what's the big deal?
The thing is, the big deal is that people actually do go bankrupt from medical debt. That does happen.
People who pay it, yes.
Right. No, I'm talking about people who.
I feel you. Some people will pay that shit.
Right. I'm talking about people who don't pay it. You can go. You can't. When you file for bankruptcy, you still have the medical debt. You see what I'm saying? That's the most bankruptcies in America is medical debt, not anything else.
I've never experienced it because I've never paid a medical debt.
Right. I got you.
For my kids or anyone. I understand. I've had good credit.
I got you.
Lived a good life.
Right. I got you. But the thing is, it does hit your credit, and you can't take it out for your credit. You have to pay it. But the second thing that I would say is that when it comes to these other countries, that doesn't happen at all. It doesn't affect your credit or anything like that. And as a matter of fact, it's cheaper over there too. Like the $50,000 surgery that your father got, and I'm glad that he's still with us. Like over in France, comparatively, it'll probably be somewhere around 10 or 15. And
we were thinking about taking my wife to literally, where was it? It's somewhere because she wanted to get a gallbladder surgery, mm-hmm. and it was like $25,000 over here or 30. and you could go to a really nice hospital. I can't remember where it was, but they only wanted like 10. I agree with you there, and I wish it was. But what I fear is that mankind is they're so greedy that how do we, if we could come together as a people and people could be like me and you and just actually have a conversation to be normal, we could get a lot done. But when people start getting crazy, like people don't do like me and you are doing. You know this. They want to argue about everything. They're, like a Christian, it's like, they can't see where they're wrong, and like a Democrat, they can't see where they're wrong, and a Republican can't see where they're wrong. It's like, I'd never look at things like that. I look things for the truth and as a whole. I don't just because I think mainly, I'm sorry, I lied earlier. I really did, because I think the main reason I like Trump was that he was a figure I grew up with. Mm-hmm. So that's biased, but at least I can admit that. I think people are just strange. If people could get along and we could all come together as a people, we could get something done. But if we can't come united as a people to agree to disagree and find the facts, we can't do anything. We need people, because I don't think anybody up there in that government, sir, there ain't a damn one of them that really, truly cares about us. Kamala don't care about the black community. Trump don't care about anybody. They don't care. They don't care. They have their needs taken care of. They have mansions. They have nice lives.
Exactly. So like the thing is, I've always said, in order for you to be a politician or a CEO or anything like that, you got to be a sociopath a bit, right? Because in any of these positions, you're going to decide that people are going to die. That's just what's going to happen here, right? So they all got to be sociopaths just a bit to be in those positions. And that includes everybody.
I believe that we can get there. I think we can get people with money. And you got one that you're talking to. I grew up with nothing. Me and my wife grew up in Arkansas. I had a 6th grade education. I had nothing, and I moved away when my wife was 18. We had no family members. We slept on the streets, and I now run a multi-million-dollar construction company. And if you click my page, I've been all over the news because I have a tech startup called Delphi Labs where I do AI. But I actually do want to do something, brother. So if you want to get in on that, shoot me a message, because I think if we do have money and we have the right people, because let me explain to you the difference between me and a normal person with money. Literally, a homeless man knocks on my door right now. Mm-hmm. God strike me down. I open my door. I tell all my children to come in here. I bring them to my table. I feed them immediately. No questions. Are you going to stab me? Anything? Who gives a fuck? I'm bringing him in my door. I mean, unless he seems like, that's a judgment thing, but you have to understand what I'm saying. I will bring him in my home. I will feed him. I will give him the shirt off my back. I'm not like them. That's actually one of the reasons I've been wanting to get to money, but I don't show them that. And I think if people knew who you were, they probably would take me down. So I try not to say too much, but I do care about people, and I do think that we could do things for the community, and we could do healthcare and food. I fucking hate the food banks, brother. Look at what they're feeding our brothers and sisters out there. Dog food, literally food that's expired. Right. Yeah, there's so many subjects we could get into that.
Right. And the thing is, when it comes to food in America, right, we have abundance. We can feed basically everybody in America. The reason why we don't is because you can't make money from it. If you give it away. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about perfectly good fresh food. You'll see these big grocery chains. I live in Florida, so we got Publix down here. You'll see them throw it away. Same with Walmart, they throw it away.
I agree with you, brother. Like the organic mattresses, like that our mattresses have flame retardants and stuff in them, right?
Yeah.
Me and my wife just figured this shit out. We just literally I just got really blessed, because even though I have money, I try to be wise, right? Because I want to do other things with it. But I just got a mattress yesterday. It was an organic mattress. That's a $2,000 mattress I got for $400, because guess why? Mm-hmm. Somebody got it on a trial period, and they just were going to throw it away. Mm-hmm. The America's wasteful. They would rather literally charge you thousands of dollars than to give a reasonable price on something. That to me is absolutely. But we can't do it, brother. We can't change. That what you're saying is true. I promise you. You can ask my wife. I can hand this phone off right now. Me and my wife have talked about starting a nonprofit called Love Grows Here. Literally, our biggest, strictest thing that me and my wife have talked about. Literally, we will take no donations. If you're going to do something nonprofit, spend your own money. If God blesses me and we're making good money, I'm going to bless people. Why am I going to sit and say, "Oh, I want to help people now. Give me millions of dollars so I can feed everybody canned foods"?
Gotcha. Hey,
that don't make sense, brother.
Hey, Oracle, I do got another guest, but I appreciate you being up, and come back anytime. All right.
Yeah, shoot me a follow. I just shot you a follow. Shoot me one back, and we'll discuss what we can actually do to change things.
Not a problem. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Hey, Joey Santana over on the TikTok. Go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and have that conversation. I don't mind having a discussion with you if you want to talk to me about God or Jesus or whatever. It's all good and well. Right now, I do have over on my StreamYard. I have Derek Brown. Actually, let me make sure everybody can see your name. There it is. All right. We have Derek Brown over on the StreamYard. Derek, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And
Yes,
do you
sir.
think you give me a good reason to believe? I mean, I'm sorry. Which one did you want to talk about? Number one or number two?
Really, we can talk about either one if you want to. I guess I can kind of hit on number one really quick so you understand my standing on it and the reason why I believe number two is so important.
All right, yeah, sure. So my number one says leftist policies are better for society, and number two asks why should I believe in a God? Go ahead and let me know which one you want to go with first, and then we'll definitely talk.
Okay, well, just so you kind of understand my stance on number one, I was a Trump supporter. Like, I don't really care if anybody knows about this. I you know what I'm saying? Like, I voted that way. And anyways, I have been disillusioned by politics from what I've seen in the last couple of years on both sides, from how they treat people and how it's like it almost seems like a rat race. I pray for these people because it says in the Bible we're supposed to pray for our leadership. But at the same time, I don't expect that they would change if it's about money and status for them, like maintaining a power dynamic and all that type of stuff. And then, you know, a lot of the reason why you get into the highest forms of politics is because you've probably been lenient on policies that you got elected for in the first place. So I don't necessarily trust in politics anymore, just because of the fact that I believe that it's meant to divide us. So it's easier to conquer our minds. As weird as that sounds, it's just very simple to me once I started reading the Bible and I understood biblical truths. But anyways, that's what I believe on that. You can comment on that now if you would wish.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, like, I think you probably already tell, like, I don't like Trump at all. I think he's a racist. He has a history of racism. So
Yes.
I was always unsure why people ever supported him, because back in the early 2000s, if a Republican candidate got up on stage and said that Mexicans are drug dealers and rapists, he would have been kicked out immediately. But for some reason, people would supported that this time around. I don't know why.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, so
Dude,
that's one thing.
Foolish almost. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's one thing. But if you saw the light and you don't support him anymore, then yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll always tell people, do some reflection on why you think he was a good idea in the first place. But other than that, you know, I mean, good luck on that journey. But when it comes to number two, on actually, I don't know if you want to stay on number one, because I do like to talk about the policies that I support and see what people think about those and discuss those.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, sure.
Sir.
So when I say leftist policies, I always talk about things that would make society better, and these are considered leftist for America, but everywhere else is normal. Things such as single payer healthcare, guaranteed housing, investment into education, subsidized childcare, things of that matter are what will make things, or of course, you know, minimum wage tied to inflation and your cost of living of your area. Those are the things that, you know, would make our society a lot more livable. It would address the cost of living situation. When it comes to housing, right, guaranteed housing, of course, we have to do things like changing zoning laws. We have to talk about NIMBYism. Yeah, I mean, NIMBYism is basically just racism, to tell you the truth. But we got to talk about zoning laws, NIMBYism. We got to start building houses again. Will you know, building, because I think we're underbuilt, which is a big problem in California, which is why California is so expensive, because they underbuilt for decades due to racism.
Bro, it's crazy, isn't it? You would think that because we're the most expanding country in the world, they'd be able to keep up, but it's like they've limited the amount that they're actually.
We actually do, exactly. They never did. So yeah, so that would come with that would address our affordability issue. You know, the supply of homes. Now, people always say there's plenty of empty homes, right? But are those homes sitting in speculation? Are they livable? where exactly are they? You know what I mean? If it's just a dilapidated home somewhere in the middle of Arkansas somewhere, it's not really livable. You see what I'm saying? So we can solve our homelessness process, in my opinion. We can solve our homeless issue, in my opinion. Of course, if we update a lot of these empty homes, if we get a lot of these homes out of the market, if we start building more for multi units instead of single units, and not only that, if we subsidize childcare and everything like that, we can take care of our affordability crisis, in my opinion. It's just the political will. And this is what leftists in general, well, I think leftists in general want revolution, but I don't think we're there yet. But this is what I would say. If we don't get to revolution, this is what we can do now in order to improve our society. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And what I would say is, in a perfect world, all that's going to work, but a lot of this is going to come at the probably almost like what's going to seem like the breaking of the back of a taxpayer, like the lower level people is what I see. Like people that are in my family situation, we are not rich by any means. Just because I'm a white dude, my family has never been rich. But like the big thing is I guess it bleeds into the second question. Like everything that you were thinking about, the only thing I can think of is a belief not only in God but in Christianity. To hit on what the guy was saying before, I agree with him. You know what I'm saying? That, a lot of these people nowadays, even if they don't, most people don't believe in God at all. A lot of people don't. The majority of the world has become atheists at this point, but it's because of what is presented to us through religion. I think there is supposed to be one belief, and that is the belief in Christ as a Messiah, who is the Son of God and was guided by the Holy Spirit in his ministry. The big thing is what I've seen is that there's this system in Revelation. If you've ever read the Bible, in Revelation, you might have heard this if you grew up in the church or around people who went to church.
I grew up
about the Antichrist and the mark of the beast. You said, what'd you say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I grew up in the church.
Okay, so you see these things about the Antichrist and the mark of the beast. I think that this world is now preparing us for it, and I don't like to say this because it always sounds like I'm being a doomsayer, but truthfully speaking, if you look on the lowest levels where people are, like everyone, like poverty and suffering and all this thing, it's skyrocketing, and I don't think it's uncontrollable, but I don't think they even want to control it in the first place. It's a way for them to try to put us in a position to where we are going to be dominated by the elite, which has been the goal of the elite ever since, back almost World War One and a lot of these world wars. The last World War is going to be a thing that implements it heavily, but these world wars are the things that really shatter our belief in the idea that there could actually even be a concept like God.
Right.
And if he was, then why would all this suffering occur? Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
But here's a few things I would say. Right. I agree about the thing about you saying about the elites. When it comes to leftists, right? We always talk about it. We're talking about that for a minute. We've always told people that yes, the billionaires are going to be ruining our society, and we're finally seeing it now. Right. Because the entire reason our electricity bills are as high as they are is literally because of data centers. Data centers are taking up everything. That's the reason why the electricity bills are up. Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
So when it comes to that, right? Yeah, sure. Like I think we agree there. Now, when it comes to belief in a God, that's the other thing. The church has always been part of the elites. You know what I mean? Back from the early days, and typically all the way up until now. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure you will probably criticize the mega churches as well, right? The Lakewood churches, the Joel Osteens, those guys like that.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. So those guys, in my opinion, represent the decadence that come with Christianity. But me, my non-belief doesn't come from them. It comes from the fact that I just don't know if this is true or not. But if people take this as a thing to help out people with their daily lives, I personally don't think you need it. But it doesn't necessarily matter what I think. It matters what you think. If someone thinks that this is what's going to help them out to be a good person and everything like that, I'm not going to take it away from you. Now, I'll still criticize the belief. I mean, all day and all day and night.
All right.
But if you want to believe in it because it helps you be a good person, I'm not going to take it away from you. You could believe that. That's all good and well. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry, Derek. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Joey, I do apologize. Be patient with me. You're gonna be next. All right. I'm just talking to someone on my TikTok. You're gonna be right next, right after Derek. All right. Just give me a few more minutes with Derek, and I'm gonna get to you. All right, Joey. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay, brother. So I guess in closing, I didn't know that it was going to be this short. I thought I'd have like a little bit more time, but.
Oh no, you got 8 minutes. You're good. You got 8 more minutes left, so you're all right. Keep going.
Okay, all right, brother. And my I lived in Florida too, by the way. So whenever you said that, I was like, heck yeah, bro. But anyways, what I believe has failed the Christian church, I came to this greater recognition of Christ by reading the Bible alone. And this is what I would recommend to you if you want to believe in God or you believe in a concept of him and you would like to familiarize yourself with it more, not trying to weed anything in. It's just if you would like to have a better understanding of what it means, I would say pick up the Bible. I would say start in the New Testament. You can start in the Old Testament and read it all. A lot of it's not going to make sense. It didn't make sense to me as a believer in Christ because I had never picked up a Bible and read for myself. This is the majority of what people do. They make a stance off of what happens. And I'm not saying you do, but you could have read the whole Bible. I don't know. But the majority of people make a stance off of something that they don't have knowledge of in the first place. And I was actually almost about to stop believing in God. And I've always felt this strong pull from the Lord, and I know it's him, spiritual thing that tugs at you. I think the Holy Spirit is our conscious. He's the thing that tries to unite us to other people, and the subconscious is the devil and his demons. We exist with our own mind. It's not like we don't have our own possession of thoughts or anything like that, but I do think that we are guided either subconsciously into what we think people think about us, and then consciously into what we want, how we wish to help people with our thoughts. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? The unification, I explain it as the force, the old way that the force was explained. It surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us. It's a thing that's supposed to be like, it's there and you can see it, but you just have to not believe so much in something that has to be proven, because God does take a leap of faith. To believe in a man who died 2,000 years ago on the cross for the sin of all mankind and then rose again from the grave. Even in their day, they had speculation and doubt from his own people. So it takes you wanting to believe in a man who was willing to do this if you saw that this world really is in a destitute state and there's probably nothing that is going to save us from this except for somebody who could be like the Son of God.
Gotcha.
And what I was going to say is really fast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I understand the reason why it looks so bad. Like I from the prosperity gospel's perspective, is you can declare yourself healed. The Holy Spirit, he wants you all to have your own individual paths. That's not what Scripture teaches at all. And on the other side, I don't ridicule these people too much, because you're supposed to deny it when it's presented to you. But on the other side of the equation, there's men who say that if you don't properly exegete the text, and all the text is the only thing we have, the Holy Spirit was only for the apostles, which is a lie as well. The Holy Spirit is supposed to be for anyone who believes, and the only way that you can gain it is, I came to God, bro, weeping, dog. Okay. Like, but literally, like I had nothing else in my life.
I got you there. Myself. So I got you. So here's my thing, right? When it comes to the force, the love that's for humanity in order to help everybody, I don't deny that, right? Humans don't naturally want to hurt each other. That's just not how we operate. We wouldn't be able to survive as a species if that was the case. And that's one of the main issues that I have with Christianity, because it teaches that humans are naturally evil and naturally flawed, and that's just untrue. We get taught a lot of that. We get taught discrimination. We get taught hate. We don't naturally hate other people. You know what I mean? Like for example, I've always told someone, get someone from the KKK, get his 3-year-old like son or daughter, and put that 3-year-old in a room full of black children. They're gonna play. I mean, because like what he doesn't understand that yet. You see what I'm saying? So that's really how I always say, like, I've always had an issue with the Abrahamic religions teaching us that we're just naturally bad as humans, and I just don't find that to be true. We naturally have empathy. We want to help each other. Like, seeing someone hurt is always going to hurt you unless you're desensitized to people being hurt. You see what I'm saying? So that's my thing. So you can do everything that you're talking about without believing in a God. And I don't think it's necessary for us to believe that someone is going to save us. Throughout humanity, we've always saved ourselves. Yeah, I mean, after World War II, we decided that we were going to create a better society. After World War I, we decided we're going to create a better society. After the Atlantic slave trade, we decided we're going to create a better society from that. Now, of course, we failed at that. Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, even after the Atlantic slave trade was over, a lot of the people who were still committing the lynchings and the horrible things to black people, especially in the United States, what did they profess? They profess to believe in God and believe in Jesus. So that didn't stop them. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, that I don't think in my opinion it is necessarily the religion that's going to give us any type of moral framework. I think is if we understand that we want to be good humans, we want to uplift human well-being, we want to uplift things like equality, we want to have pro-social consequences to our actions. Those things are going to lead us to mostly better results than, just saying God told me so. Because I can take the same Bible, same Quran, same Torah, same Bhagavad Gita, same scrolls of Taoism, and said that these gods or spirits are also telling me to enslave all the people in California. You know what I mean? Like I can, and no one can tell me different because this is how I interpret it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all, for me, it's just, let's believe in uplifting human well-being. Let's believe in pro-social consequences. Let's believe in equality. Let's believe in weighing harm and degrees of harm, because we typically all operate that way. Like even you as a Christian, even though I'm pretty sure you and I both agree that stealing is wrong, but a 5-year-old stealing a 5-year-old stealing a piece of gum from the store, and a 25-year-old man breaking into my house, tying up me and my wife and stealing my TV, those have way different consequences. So you might let the 5-year-old go and tell him not to do it again, but you're going to send a 25-year-old to jail. You see what I'm saying? So like we have different, even with religion in our society, we understand different consequences. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Now we're kind of out of time. You can go ahead and get the last word in, and then we're going to move on, but come back anytime. All right.
Okay, buddy. Yes, sir. What I would really like, I'm going to pray for you, brother. If you can give me your first name, I don't need your full name, just your first name. I'd really like to pray for you, bro.
You can call me Volcy.
Okay. I will pray for you, Mr. Volcy. And I do want to say this on the point of it being something that is, I would really recommend you reading it for yourself, bro, and reading what Jesus says, because what has been presented in Christianity, it's these men who they get into power and they sit in a seat in a throne, and they're supposed to be called by a title. There's a teaching where Jesus says, many will seek to call you rabbi, but you have one teacher and you are all brothers. And then he says, many shall seek to call you father, but you have one father, that's your Father in heaven. And then he says, many shall seek to call you instructor, but you have in one instructor, and that is the Christ. So I believe the titles that we have attained from this have given people conflated responsibilities, and then when they wish to stay in power, they gain it through political means. True Christianity is supposed to be a thing. We are literally supposed to be the martyrs of society.
All right, we went out of time. Thank you, Derek, so much for being here. We're gonna go ahead and talk to Joey next. Joey, you said that your Uber is here. Let me know if you can still talk. Joey, you still there? Let me invite him to unmute.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, Joey?
All right. I just told him to drop my food off.
Not a problem. All right. So, Joey, I see that you are from New York, Brooklyn, Bronx, Harlem,
Manhattan. Lower
East Side,
Lower Harlem.
Lower East Side,
Lower Harlem.
Oh, Lower Harlem. Okay, my bad. I didn't hear you. All right, cool. How's it going, Joey? Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
Yeah, you could pick. It don't matter. I prefer number 2, but
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about number 2. No, if you prefer number 2, let's talk about number 2. All right, cool. Number 2. Yeah.
Yo,
So
can I debate him on number 2?
I thought you would say. I knew you were going to say.
I got you. Hey, Unstoppable, give me one moment, okay? Let me just talk to Joey for a bit, and then I'm gonna let you talk to him. All right? Just give me a few.
No. Let the atheists come in. This is even gonna be a better party. Let the atheists come in. Come on.
I'm an atheist too, but I'm the host. Like, talk to me first, and then you can talk to him.
All right. I apologize.
All good. All right. So Joey Santana, if I am going to make a stereotype here, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Catholic?
Okay. No.
Not Catholic. Okay, cool. A lot of you, I saw your last name. A lot of Hispanics have that last name, and I thought you were Catholic. I do apologize for stereotyping you. My bad about that. All right, cool. So, are you like a mainstream Protestant, Lutheran, or any of those?
No, just a Christian.
It's a Christian? Okay, so non-denomination. All good and well. All right, cool, Joey. Let's go ahead and talk. I'm sorry for taking your time. Let me go ahead and put time back on the clock. Why do you think I should believe in a God?
I don't think you should do anything. I think it's up to you. It's a personal choice. That's why it's personal. I'm just the messenger. It's up to you. You're the one that's got to do what you got to do. You know, I'm not here.
Motivated reasons for the God belief, sir.
It's the Holy Spirit's job.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Okay, cool. So, according to your position, is not your job. Is you're only the messenger. All right, cool. So the thing is, though, I grew up in church, right, and I've already read the message.
Oh man, you don't have a problem.
Hold on, Joey. Hold on. My question
7 times.
Joey, hold on. What makes you think your message will convince me any more than what I've already heard?
I'm not thinking that my message is going to convince you of anything.
All right, cool.
That's the Holy Spirit's job.
Cool. Why do you? Okay, cool. Let me answer this question. What convinces you to believe in a God?
My experience since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
I've known him. I've seen him. I felt him. I know.
Okay, what does he look like?
Prosperity. He looks like the clouds. He like rides chariots in his cloud. He walks on the wind.
Okay,
you know,
sounds like an anime, bro.
No, it's called the Bible. It's a quote from the Bible, actually.
Oh, so the Bible is basically an Iron Age anime. So that's
no, it's not an anime. It's
man, you said niggas was walking on clouds, bro. That's
kind of cool that it's like an anime.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
All right, hey, you can take it however you want. You can call it an anime. You could call it Bugs Bunny. You can call it whatever you want.
All right,
but
cool. So
we all know one thing. One thing we all know.
What's that? We
all are gonna get buried. One way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
yeah, Santana, we all know we're going to die. Santana, we all know we're going to die. But the question is, the thing that you believe, how do we know that is actually true? Because I understand that you experienced something, right? I don't doubt your true. Hold on, Santana, hold on. Santana, hold on. I understand that you believe that this is true, and I understand that you had an experience. The thing is, where I come from is that what do you actually attribute that experience to? Because I can experience a pink unicorn in my backyard. That doesn't mean that pink unicorns exist, right? So it's all about what are you actually attributing that experience to, not if you experience something. I'm sure you experienced something. That's all good and well. But is what you experience actually what you're attributing it to? How do you know what you experience isn't Olodumare, the god of West African Yoruba religion? How do you know it's not that? Or Anansi the spider? How do you know it's not that? You know what I mean?
Well, two things. Because it's the same experience that you did, that you felt, but I accepted it. And second of all, because I got to drop dead and everything is falling into place. That's why you know it. I know it. Come on, bro.
I mean, Joey, that doesn't really tell me anything, Joey.
Yo,
I'm sorry.
Everybody
Joey.
Everybody. Well,
Joey. Calm down for a second. All right. The thing is, like, yes, I've had similar experiences, right? But people of other religions have also had experiences. Like my grandmother, for example. My grandmother was a Haitian voodoo practitioner. You being from New York, I'm pretty sure you know plenty of Haitians. And you being Hispanic, I'm pretty sure you know people who do Santeria. You see what I'm saying? So all of those people have experienced those African traditional religions, but you're not part of those African traditional religions. You see what I'm saying? Because for you, it's either it doesn't exist or it's evil. You know what I'm saying? But for them, it's a great experience and it's positive. So at this point, how do we know which one of those are actually true? And how do we know which ones are actually good for us? You're saying that we're all going to die one day. We all know we're going to die one day, but that doesn't mean that yours is the right way or that's even true. That's what we're trying to get to, Joey. You understand what I mean? You get off mute now. All that makes sense, Joey?
Okay, that's never, ever gonna happen. We are creatures. Y'all can try all this voodoo crap or whatever. Pardon me, Lord. Oh, forgive me, Father. Okay, y'all can do, you know it. Everybody on here knows it.
Knows what?
No other voodoo, no other Muslims, no other Buddhas are hated. Okay, are hated.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about God, aren't we?
No, you said no other Buddhists or Muslims are hated. Muslims are hated. Like the Rohingya,
they're hated for their violence, but not their God.
No. Incorrect. Do you know about the Rohingya genocide happening in Myanmar right now?
No.
Okay. Myanmar right now, Rohingya Muslims are Muslim. So when you say that no one hates them, what exactly do you mean? That's happening over there right now.
Well, I don't know that, and I can't prove that. Okay. All I'm saying is nobody cares about the Buddhists. Nobody cares about the Muslims. Nobody attacks. Really? Come on. You're one in like what?
But Joey,
a million?
But Joey, again. I just told you that over in Myanmar right now, they're committing a genocide on Muslims. Same thing is happening over in Israel, Gaza. They're attacking them for their ethnicity and because they're Muslim. Hold on. They're attacking them because of their ethnicity and because they're Muslim. They're committing a genocide on these people.
No, that's a lie. They're not attacking them because they're Muslim.
They're attacking them because they're Palestinian.
Murderers.
No, it's not because they're Palestinian.
No, that's a lie. You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
They're talking because they're Palestinian.
They're murderers.
Who's murderers?
They should have kept
Children are murderers.
Butts.
Children are murderers.
They should have kept their butt in Gaza.
Joey, do you understand what the history of that area is? Do you understand any of the history of that area? Because Israel is literally a settler colonial project. They even said that we're going to settle it. It's a colonizer project. They knew that the Palestinians were indigenous to that land, and they settled there. They said that they were going to kick those people out. The father of Zionism literally said that they're going there in order to remove the indigenous people. It's a colonizer project. That's how Israel started. Did you know about that?
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie. So all of it is a lie. If I come into your house while you are sleeping,
Joey, you
know it.
Joey, you need to chill. You need to chill.
I am chill.
No, you're not. You're
the one that needs to chill.
The reason why you're not chill is because you're interrupting me. You need to calm down, Joey. You need to learn how to have a conversation, bro. You just can't proclaim what I'm saying is a lie, and you literally never heard of it. I gave you an actual world event happening right now, and you never even heard of it. So you just can't call me a liar. Maybe there's something that you never heard. Did you know that the person who created colonialism said that Israel was going to be a colonizer project, and they were going to remove the indigenous people there, meaning the Palestinians? Did you know about that? Yes or no? You come off mute. You come off mute, Joey. I'm just asking you, did you know about that? This is in their writings, by the way. It's not something I'm making up. This is why a lot of Orthodox Jews actually don't believe that Israel should exist, because the Messiah didn't come back yet. And according to Orthodox Judaism, they're not supposed to get a state until their Messiah comes. A lot of Orthodox Jews don't believe that Israel should exist. You can come off mute anytime you want, Joey. I already sent you an invitation. There you go.
Keep blocking me. You keep blocking me.
All right.
You know,
so
did you
understand what I said? All right. So Joey, did you understand what I said?
That's the thing about you false prophets.
Joey, did you understand what I said, bro?
You come out with all these other crazy stuff.
Joey, calm down. Did you understand anything I said? Joey, did you understand? Joey, did you understand anything I said?
That's what you're gonna use? Is that
Joey, did you understand anything I said? Joey, I'm asking you a question, bro. Did you understand anything I said?
Yeah, you're not that intellectual.
Joey,
okay?
I'm asking you a question, Joey. Did you understand anything I said?
You're a good player.
Joey,
you're a good player.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
Before the maker.
Joey, be quiet for a second. Joey, be quiet for a second.
No,
be quiet for a second.
I don't have to be quiet.
Joey, be quiet for a second.
Because you don't let
Okay. Joey, did you understand anything that I just said? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking you, bro. I'm asking you, did you understand that, I forgot his name, I think his name was Herzl, the father of Zionism, said that Zionism, creating Israel, is going to be a settler project to remove the indigenous. He literally said that. Do you know about that or not? That's all I'm asking you, bro. You can get off mute. But did you know about that? I'm asking if you know about that.
Are you nuts? Okay.
Okay.
That did not come from.
All right. So I'm not gonna keep wasting our time, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move on. We're not gonna waste any more time. All right. So if you are over on the YouTubes, I appreciate y'all for hitting that gift goal. I thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for letting me hit that gift goal. I appreciate y'all. All right. So if you are on the any of the other if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that link. Go to tiny.cc/volcylive. Tiny.cc/volcylive. And you'll be able to join in on the conversation. If you're over on my channel over on Volcy Thoughts, tiny.cc/volcylive, and then we can go ahead and talk about it. All right. I appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all for having a conversation. Of course, we got to drop people who don't know how to talk. All right, and I do see a few folks over on the Volcy Thoughts channel. Y'all just go ahead and hit that request button, tiny.cc/volcylive. You go to that on your browser. You'll be able to join me on the conversation either on your phone or on your browser on your PC. All right, and Frank the Tank over on the Deconstruction Junction, go ahead and join on tiny.cc/volcylive, and we'll definitely have a conversation if you want to talk and have that conversation as well. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and wait for anybody else who would like to come up. The guest box is there, y'all. We can go ahead and talk in the guest box. All right, y'all. So as y'all see, top on the board, number 1, number 2, I think that leftist policies are better for society. And I'm asking people, why should I believe in a God? If you think that, if you disagree with number 1 and we'll talk about number 2, go ahead and either hit that request button or go to the link here. And we'll be able to have that conversation. Thank y'all so much for thank y'all so much for having me hit that gift goal. Thank you, eWeezy. I'm going to go ahead and put another gift goal up. Thank you for everybody who donated to the gift. All right. I'm not sure how to say that name. Is that Maximilian? All right. So MCM, I don't live over in the UK, so I can't really talk about the UK. But you can go ahead and come on up and we can have that conversation as well if you would like to come. I'm gonna go ahead and put that new goal up, y'all. Let's get 50 roses. Yeah, we'll do 50 roses. We'll go ahead and do 50 roses. All right. So MCM, like I said, I don't live over in the UK, so I won't be able to talk about that. But I can tell you about the policies that I would like to see. Usually over in the UK, the left policies I talk about is basically around immigration. All right. And like I said, if you're watching me over on YouTube, you can go to the link right here. And the link right here is where you would talk to me and we can have that conversation. Let me know who in the comments would like to talk, and you can go ahead and come on up. Okay. We have Lore over on my YouTube. Yeah, we have Lore over on my YouTube who's basically going back and forth in the comments. Go ahead and go to the link, Lore, and we can have that conversation. Same thing with you, Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank talking about Jesus over on the Deconstruction Junction. Link is right there. You know, go ahead and join in. Go to that link, and we can have that conversation. If you think that I should believe in Jesus, sure. Don't disappear now, Lore. All right. Lore says, hey, oh my God, why can't y'all never spell my name right? Y'all, that's not an I, it's an L. Volcy. Why would there be a capital I in the middle of the name? That's so weird. Why do y'all do that? It's Volcy. It's not an I. All right, Volcy. My goodness. Yeah, I always put an I there, like there's gonna be a capital I in the middle of my name. That's so strange. All right, so Lore, the issue is intellectual. All right, when you say it's one of the heart, that sounds really strange to me because it's like I don't have a bad heart, so I don't have anything wrong with my heart. So it's like just come talk to me about it if you want to talk about it. All right, and Sinusis, I'm not sure how to spell that. Say your name. He asked me if I'm a communist. I'm not a communist, no. The only reason I'm not a communist is because I'm not sure how we get there. Yeah, only reason I'm not a communist because I just don't know how we get there. So but no, I won't say I'm a communist. All right, yeah. So there's a gift goal up. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pin it later. And Seeker, you can go ahead and come on up, and we can definitely have that talk. Just waiting for Seeker of the Way to come up. All right, Seeker, how's it going, Seeker? Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
I don't know much about your number 1, but we can talk number 2.
All right, sure. Let's talk about number 2. Why do you think I should believe in a God?
You shouldn't if you don't believe. That's your issue.
I shouldn't believe if I don't believe. That's kind of a tautology, isn't it?
Well, no, it's down to you if you want to believe. If you want to know, it's a feeling. If you don't have that feeling, I guess you're never gonna get it.
I've had the feeling before, but the thing is the feeling.
How did you lose it?
Hold on. When it comes to the feeling, you can replicate that feeling in any other setting. So how do we know that the feeling is coming from how do we separate the feeling coming from us and it's coming from a supernatural source?
If you had that feeling, you would know.
So just trust me, bro.
If you don't know, there's you in it. It's a feeling. It's like love. It's like you showing love. But if you don't have that feeling, you don't. It's your prerogative. It's your issue.
So just trust me, bro.
Trust me? No, he's trusting yourself, bro.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
So you don't trust yourself?
That's not the point I'm trying to bring up. What I'm trying to say is that how do we actually separate the feeling of us coming from ourselves and it coming from a supernatural source? And hold on, Seeker. I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that how do we separate the feeling coming from us as a person and it coming from a supernatural source? We just can't say, oh, you'll know. That's basically a trust me, bro. We have to have some sort of way to understand the separation of these things. Which one is it coming from? Is it coming from a supernatural source, or is it coming from something that we just thought of, or is it coming from us? Because again, this has been replicated. The same feelings that you get from church, you can get at a Beyonce concert. That doesn't make Beyonce God, does it? No, it doesn't. So how do we know the source of where these feelings are coming from? You just can't say you'll know. That's trust me, bro.
Okay. Well, this is how my one works, how my feeling works, how it's seen. The thoughts I have, the thoughts that come into my mind are things that my brain does. And I observe these thoughts and I choose the thoughts that I'm going to empower and build my mindset. And me having that becomes clearer and clearer each day, especially when I'm a student of wisdom. I understand wisdom comes from God, and by me doing that and aligning myself and my fleshly self to that, I get to know my divine soul. This is something that I already know, that I already do. I'm simply just observing thoughts, and I choose the thoughts that I want to do. There's a saying: "Thoughts are not my thoughts; your ways are not your ways." So this is something that is not only taught in Christianity, it's also taught throughout, even all the way to Yoruba culture, or Olodamere, where I'm from in West Africa, and it's also derived in Egypt, it derives in Japan. But we also have in our paradigm, some people are just not, there's cycles. And in your cycle, maybe in this time, in this world, you can never know. You only see what you see with your eyes. So people like yourself would never really understand that.
There's a problem, Seeker. I used to believe. So what happened then? You can't say that I'll never understand when I used to believe.
Yeah, there's a difference. You believe I know. There's a difference.
No, you don't know. If you don't, you'll be able to prove it. And you just told me that you can.
Can you tell me what? I know because I feel.
Yeah, that's belief, bro.
No, because then you just believe in love, and you believe that you're angry. You believe that you're
feelings are real. I'm not saying that your feelings are real, but you're saying that
feelings are real now.
Hold on. That's not what I said. Listen, yes, feelings are real, but you said that that you feel a supernatural presence.
Yes, I know.
How do you know that? How do you know the supernatural? How do you know that feeling you have is actual supernatural presence? Hold on, Seeker, wait.
People like you would never know.
Seeker, listen. How do you know the feeling that you have comes from a supernatural presence? How do you do that? Because I know when I see my wife, I know that my love comes from her because I actually see my wife, right? And hold on. Anytime that I think about my wife, I get a certain feeling. Anytime that I'm worried about her, that I don't hear from her all day, I get worried, etc., etc. I know that feeling of that I have of love comes from my wife, and she does, and it's the same thing for me, right? So the question then becomes: if you know that the feeling that you're having is coming from a supernatural source, how exactly do you know that? What did you do in order to ascertain the supernatural source? And how do the rest of us also can ascertain that supernatural source?
Okay. So for people like myself, we know that love doesn't come from outside. I'm with my wife. I love my wife because I love myself. and it comes from within outwards, not outwards within. It goes within outwards. Those who people like yourself always seek from outside, always seeking basically people's pleasers, seeking outside.
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. You're not gonna insult me, bro. Hold on.
I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying.
Hold on. Everybody pause. No, you're insulting me.
No.
You're insulting me.
Okay,
don't
sorry
do
if
that.
I'm insulting you.
No, it's not an if. You insulted me. Don't call me a people pleaser just because you don't understand what I said. I said I know the where my love is coming from because when I see my wife, I know where the feeling's coming from. That does That doesn't make me a people pleaser. Hold on. That does not make me a people pleaser. So you're not gonna sit up here and insult me.
I'm sorry that I've damaged your temple.
No, you intentionally wanted to do that. I'm catching your bullshit because you assume the brother was not those particular things. Excuse me, you continue to come off mute, and let me tell you something. You're up here to not actually understand what a person is saying. You're very much set in your own ways. You just insulted. Oh, did you run?
Did he run? Damn, he ran. I want to Caddy and K to get in on that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't drop him, by the way. Hey, y'all.
Hey, well, what's up, K? Yeah, he did run. I wanted y'all to get in on that. That's why I didn't stop y'all. That's why I stopped anything. I wanted y'all to get in on it.
Like, one of the things that people don't really, and this is because of Western connotations of the idea of God, are very authoritarian, very dualistic, and they are very, very attached to their notions of it. And they try to push that because they believe that wholeheartedly that nothing else can convince them any other way or any other possible point of view. But there exists other spiritualities and other points of view. To say that indigenous spirituality is not, valid is a lie. Mm-hmm. It's valid. You know what I'm saying? It's another way to have an experience. But to deny that and to go on this monotheistic, egotistical spouting is like,
yeah, man. Oh boy. How's it going, Kay? How's it going, Jay? Yeah, all right?
I'm okay. I'm just finished a job.
I'm fabulous. I'm just eating some DiGiorno's pizza.
But yeah, I did want to kind of get in on the conversation. I did come in somewhat the tail end of it, and so that's why I didn't say too much because I was trying to understand trying to understand where he was coming from. Mm-hmm. I could just kind of somewhat speak upon it. I'm not religious. I used to be, of course, indoctrinated within Christianity from the South, of course, Georgia, one of the Bible thumping states. So grew up Baptist since I was 10, 11 years old. Mm-hmm. And I have deconstructed out of that particular religion. Things that I understand about religion is that there's two things. It's not specifically just Christianity, but all the other parts of religions, from Hinduism and Buddhism and Islam and you name it. And there's two things that I've when I've traveled around the world is that I understand that everyone is kind of reaching for something bigger than themselves, trying to understand why they exist and where they come from. And that's sometimes that I even ask myself that sometimes. And also I know that the downside about it is it's very much control. It's about controlling masses of people mentally and spiritually, and not allowing other people to, as it was interesting that brother said that about seeking validation or seeking things outside of ourselves and not really not really looking inside of ourselves, brother. And you're the one looking outside of your fucking self, and you thought to project that onto Volcy. And the thing is, you're not even looking inside.
That's religion in general.
Yeah.
And instead of because it could be very much. It's sometimes it's hard to have these conversations and with people that is very much deeply indoctrinated in religion, even with my family and friends. Sometimes I try to not, because I try to use my energy in different ways, wisely. Yes, definitely wisely, because my peace is very much important to me. Mm-hmm. And so these conversations is a lot. However, to my view is that I don't think about. Sometimes I say, I think that even the term God, like who knows that is actually the name of the creator, whatever we hear. You know what I'm saying? I always say sometimes very much could be a woman because women birth, and I know woman is a social construct. All these names and that we use are very much social constructs. It could be very much a being of light, and I feel like even within us, there's some that carry that.
Very much so.
And some that don't, and those who don't gravitate towards those who do. And so it's I think all of this is very much complex, and I'm I'm somewhat still at the beginning stages. I'm still a student in this moment of trying to understand why I'm here, the purpose of me, what the people are, the people, or whatever we call people. What is this? What is this place that we're in? Where are we? What is this? I always have these questions. I also when you were talking about things that's very much innate, such as the feelings that we love, that's innate. Empathy is innate. These things aren't necessarily in a lot of people. These things are very much attached to those who are within that light, and that's what I'm saying. Those who don't have light, that's what I'm stating, is they don't necessarily have the full capacity to understand what it's like to be loved, or what it is to exhibit that, or what it is to have empathy for other people and recognize that. And that's what I that's what I'm like trying to, and that's why I'm saying very much spiritual. Like this religious thing. I was going to ask the brother, because I don't know, he was Christianity. He was a Christian.
I think he was a Christian. Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to ask him coming from the continent of Africa, specifically Western Africa, because I heard him say that. I'm trying to understand when did West Africa become Christian, exhibit these Christian values, or the thought process. When did this happen? To my understanding, that Christianity is 2,000 years old, and he is older. Him existing, and he's coming from a lineage of ancestors that has been on this whatever the fuck this is, Earth we call it, existed way before that. And I'm just trying to understand, how does that correlate? And then that's what I'd be trying to get people to trying to understand. Gotcha. These basic questions. And I'm gonna stop. I'm rambling on. I'm gonna land my plane there. Okay.
No, all good, because we actually do have someone that's up. Give me a few minutes with him. All right, guys. Hey, Jim, how's it going, Jim? Jim, I'm all right. Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
What was number 1? I was just wanting to talk about. We'll see where the discussion goes, but I would say like number 2. My argument against where you would know that it would come from, it would be more of like a teleological aspect of it. It would be more like I would believe in more of the Platonist philosophy of like forms and emanations.
Gotcha.
Clearly, like,
all right, Jim, pause me real quick. I'm sorry, Jim. Pause me real quick. All right, cool. So you're gonna go for number 2. Number 1 was leftist policies are better for society. But if you want to go for number 2 of why should I believe in a God, that's all good and well. I do have a few other people here over on my TikTok side. We have Jay, we have Caddy, and we have Kay. They may come into the conversation a few times, but I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes with me, and then they'll jump in. Okay.
And before you do,
you know what? I think. What do you call it?
Go ahead.
Can I do number 1? Can I do number 1?
You want to do number 1? Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. Same rules.
Okay.
1 second, Jim. What you say, Jim?
I just want to say before you do that, someone in the comments said the seeker of the way said about Satan. Hey, I just want to I want to say this, and I'll just land here, and then we can move on to number 2. And to my understanding, and Satan is not what we talk about biblical. I looked up the term in Latin and did a little research. It means light carrier. And I'm gonna just land there. I very much know what what that term is, and I'm gonna land there. We can talk about it a little bit later, but yeah, I'm gonna listen.
All good. We're gonna talk to Jim real quick over on the StreamYard. All right, Jim. So number one, I think that leftist policies are better for society. Would you disagree with that?
I would be in the negative, not in
Lucifer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't believe that. I'm conservative.
You're conservative. All right, cool. The reason here's one. Let me ask you this question. If we had single payer healthcare, would that be bad or good for us?
Single payer healthcare. I mean, in terms of the structure, I think usually that's just it's just basically all Medicare. Is that correct? Or like the structure of Medicare? Because I'm to tell you the truth, I don't really know single structure of Medicare. Is it similar to the Canadian sector? Because I don't necessarily agree with the Canadian sector. It does have its benefits.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem in terms of, I think the biggest problem for America is it's most likely, I think, the prescription drugs
are super high. Yeah,
super
so
high.
When we look at countries that do have single payer, such as the UK, such as France, Germany, Japan, Singapore, China, etc., what we see is that the prescription drug costs are little to nothing. They're very, very low, or they don't cost anything at all. Yeah, I mean, and that's something that I would like to have us happen here in the United States. Same thing with ambulances. If you were to trip and fall, I don't want that to happen to you, but just an example, if you were to trip and fall and shatter your knee, that ambulance ride is going to be at least $900 to $1,000. That doesn't happen anywhere else except for here. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's because, they have single payer. We all basically single pay. What single payer is that there's one giant insurance company, basically a government ran company. It's one giant insurance company. We all pay the premiums, and all claims are paid out that premiums. That's all it really is. It's basically insurance right now. It's just,
Do they have deductibles? Like, do you have to pay?
No.
Like, you reach a certain amount, and then you have to pay like a deductible.
No, there's no deductibles.
Oh man, you're starting to.
Yeah, so
interested in this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, see, a single payer. All right, so that's one thing. These are the things that I think way better for society. I believe in single payer things like universal child care, subsidized child care, universal education, paying from pre-K all the way up into college. You see what I'm saying? I think if we redo our zoning laws to take care of our housing affordability issues, build more multi-unit housing, change the law so we can build more multi-unit housing, build more housing so we can change some of these zoning laws, environmental protections, investment into public transportation. These things will cause less stress in our society. These things will address the affordability crisis that we're having right now. It's all a win-win for me, which is why I think that they're better for society. Everywhere else has some sort of version of this.
Well, I don't think it necessarily is going to necessarily work. I mean, what you're describing in terms of that is very high taxable purchases. And is this including like a free market? Are we talking about total like authoritarian, like communist? We control the economy.
What are you talking about, man? You're just throwing out words you have no. Because you brought up communism, which has nothing to do with what Volcy said.
I'm talking about the structure. Well, let me finish my argument first.
First of all, you don't even know what communism is to make an argument, and this conversation is not about communism. And also, you brought up free market.
Yeah, just relax.
Those particular terms, I am relaxed. Well, the only time I return,
I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I'm asking you the question, and then you're jumping down my throat.
Hold on one second. You asked me to relax, but you're talking over me, so I don't know if you want me to relax or you want me to yell. Which one you want me to do over you? So you make the fucking.
No, because you're not allowing me. You're not allowing me to say my points. I'm asking you a question.
Hold on. Everybody pause. All right, so Jim, just
let me state my point. Let me state my point, and then argue back.
Jim, I got you. I got you. Okay, so just to let you know, Jim, I do have other people over on the TikTok, so that's the voices that you're hearing sometimes. All right, that was Jay. All right, so Jay, when you brought up communism, Jay was saying that this has nothing to do with communism. All right, and
I said about the economy. I mean, what are we talking about in terms of accomplishing that?
What the fuck you're talking about is the point.
So Jim,
dude, relax. Relax. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jim, listen to me. Okay, cool. We can have single payer healthcare and still have a market economy because Scandinavia has it, Japan has it, Australia has it. They all have a market economy and they still have single payer healthcare. You see what I'm saying? So we can have single payer, we can have universal education like they have in Germany, and we can have things like a subsidized childcare like they have over in Finland, I think, as a matter of fact. Finland, has a market economy and they have subsidized childcare and they have universal healthcare and they have universal education. So we can do it. Now, you're correct, Jim. The taxes will go up a little bit, but what are the trade-offs? Now, for me, in my opinion, Jim, if we have a 45% tax rate, but I know that my neighbors are not going to go bankrupt paying medical bills. I know that the education system is robust and all kids are being educated. Plus, I know that there's more public transportation, so less cars on the road. We deal with the climate crisis. We can deal with the affordability crisis as well. But taxes are 45%. There's a trade-off there. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, taxes are high, but we're living a lot more relaxed life. You see what I mean, Jim?
I totally understand, but what you're going to cut off is for the opportunity and availability to go other places. Like, one of the biggest problems is that you can't, like, say you go to Canada and most of these places, they have anti-clinic laws where you would have to necessarily go to government-funded health facilities as opposed to privatized health clinics such as urgent cares, right?
No, you can still go to urgent care in Canada.
Can I interject here?
Yeah. All right. So hold on.
Go, but
I got Jim. Give me 1 second.
It's not for. It's not marketing. It's not free. You have to.
It's not free. It's not. I got you. Okay. So Jim, give me 1 second. All right. So Jay wants to speak to you right now. You're going to be talking to him. Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. I just want you to really. Can you give me a simple term what communism is, and can you also give me a simple term what free market is?
Free market. What are you talking about? Controlling? Well, like I would say the control the free market. I don't know because sometimes. Okay, look, I listen to Boise. Sometimes he comes as social. Yeah, socialistic. I'm determined to like socialism. So I don't know whether or not we're talking about an idealized version or are we talking about.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen to me. I asked you, sir. Listen to me. I didn't ask you about what Volcy's doing. I asked you, sir.
Good. Okay, you want me to explain it? I'll explain it.
Hey, are you going to control the means of production?
And that is authority.
You're just because I'm going to ask you about the things that you're saying. Because you don't get to throw out fucking words and then when somebody questions it, that your knowledge about it, that you say you don't know. The thing is, you do not know what you're talking about. For three things: socialism, you do not know what you're talking about. Capitalism, you don't know how it functions. Communism, you do not know how it functions. What Volcy said had nothing to do with what you're talking about. We're talking about making life easier for everyone. And you know what I would love to talk about, sir? I would love to talk about how we can allocate the resources in a system of capitalism, which we're currently in. And capitalism is oppressing and harming people to this day. And that's the only way that capitalism functions. The only way capitalism functions is how we're doing it now. Homelessness, lack of education, lack of said resources, and also the 1% stealing all the wealth as we speak, even from you. So let me get to the point where
keep bloviating. Keep bloviating. You said your piece. Okay.
Excuse me.
Go quiz me.
You should be
quiz me on my knowledge and let me know my knowledge.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you're saying. I need you to listen to what I'm saying. You're cutting me off.
No, I don't want to hear what you're saying. Get to your point.
Hey, listen. I'm going to speak to the 20
You're speaking platitudes.
That's okay.
You speak on.
That's okay. I'm going.
You're speaking platitudes.
To other people in here. I don't give a fuck. You can tell me what I said after I get it out. That you could do that. But you need to have some self-control.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Address the audience. Address the audience.
The 20 people in here. Basically, what Volcy said, hey, basically reallocating resources. Also, even though the taxes may go up, those things are already implemented in other countries. So it works really well that everyone has the access to the resources to have a healthy society. The whole point of contention is to have a healthy society. The society in the United States is very much not healthy. It's dysfunctional. It's because one thing is the lack of education and exhibit A. Secondly, the critical thinking skills, the lack of emotional intelligence. These things are missing in this United States of society because you're exhibiting now. And I'm just gonna read your motherfucking ass right now.
No, you started it. And then now you're pleading to the audience's sensibilities that you're such a nice guy.
To the 22,
and you're so moral.
I don't give a shit about none of that shit you're talking about. I would love to get back to where we're talking about. The thing my point is this: I don't give a shit. You can talk over me. I'm going to talk over you. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you're talking about.
No, go ahead, talk, speak.
Because I need you to attack. Hey, what I need you to do is I need you to attack what I'm saying that you disagree with. All that other shit you worry about how I'm saying it has nothing to do with you. The 23 people is
mind
listening.
you, I just asked a question.
I don't give a fuck, man. Listen, you should be listening instead of coming off mute to steal my energy. You energy vampire. So the 23 people in here.
Energy vampire is insane.
He is so narcissistic ass. Because let me point that out to you. Voss.
What we do in the shadows.
He can't see what you're saying, Volcy. It's because he is very much within himself. He cannot look outside of himself to see that other people are also lacking within.
Dude, you are projecting this thing on me.
So,
unnecessarily.
All right.
Okay, so let me go back to my point. I'm going to say this.
I got you, Jay. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. So let's try to bring it back to the conversation.
Yeah,
so
bring it to the conversation.
We're gonna bring it back to the conversation. Yeah. All right. So
we're gonna bring it back.
I got you, Jim. I'm sorry. I got you, Jay. So Jay has a point, Jim, about what we want to like to do with society. Let's listen to his point first, and then if you have any rebuttal, then you can go ahead and respond. All right? How's that? That sounds fair, Jim?
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I don't like the fact that he's telling the audience what they should believe about me and projecting all this shit on me. But go ahead.
They'll make their own judgment. I got you.
All right, make their own judgment. You narcissistic bitch. So as I was saying,
wow, hey, bro, my goodness.
So as I was saying, basically the point of contention is this: we want a healthy society, and I love what Volcy was basically laying out there, because if there are other countries already implementing those set systems, which is socialism. What socialism is, by the way, it works for said communities. Communism works for said communities, but that's besides the point. But enacting these policies that everyone has an opportunity to eat and have a healthier, have access to education, have access to medical care, all these types of things on a 100% level is great. What we could do is reallocate resources from said military is one major point. Taking resources from a bloated military, quote unquote defense, which by the way, is not defense, white people. White man, it's not defense. It is a tool of an imperialism and white supremacy, and that is the exception.
That's why we named it wars.
What you should be doing is shutting the fuck up and listening to what's saying. I don't care that you don't like what I'm saying. It's reality. I'm joking
with you.
I don't give a fuck, demon. So what I was saying was, all right. United States military is used for white supremacy and imperialism to this day in 2026. So what we can do is remove those military bases that we're spending countless of billions of dollars on, being a parasitic ass individuals of people, planting military bases in other nations to steal their resources and destabilize their nations, so you can sit up on panels like this and beat your chest like you're some fucking big badass, but at the end of the day, the only reason you exist is because you are stealing from other people. How about we stop stealing and actually start implementing said good things, and stop having this illusion that you're good when you're not. All right,
great.
I'm not white.
And I don't give a fuck about you being a person of color, because narcissism.
I'm not. Yeah, no. See, that is only painful. That is your only argument. You only heard what you wanted to hear, and you're already setting up this topic about socialism. And mind you, all the points that you said were you. Were the ones who brought that up, and not me.
All right.
I simply asked a question.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Okay, so let me.
I got you.
You want me to argue back?
No. I got you. It's possible. I was gonna say, like, if you understood all his points, and if you have any rebuttal he's talking about, the military industrial complex being imperialism, having a more healthier society, things that we can do to allocate resources for people. Those are basically his overall points. Do you understand that? And what is your rebuttal to that?
In terms of that, you're coming to paint that the American empire is somewhat of a white supremacist machine. I would like to regret you that you're also part of the American empire. So it's even multicultural. It is even multicultural, and within 20 years, it'll be like within like another 20 years, it'll be like probably down the middle. A colored state with a white state. It'll be half and half.
I don't give a fuck about none. What do you disagree with what I said? What do you disagree with? All that other shit is irrelevant. What do you disagree with?
Okay, so in terms of imperialism, what exactly are we taking over? Where have are we annexing?
Question for me.
Have we annexed Iran?
Okay,
have we
hey. Oh, you said Iran. I say, listen. Before we get to these points, which you start throwing it out, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here. What's up, Seeker?
Give me say something. Sorry, Jay. Host.
What happened, Seeker?
I apologize.
Seeker.
Seriously, no. I apologize.
All good.
I apologize what I did. No, I apologize. It's just that I've been going through, just some lives. Maybe some energy came off me. I apologize because I understand I read the things that why should I believe in a God?
Mm-hmm.
Seeker.
So Seeker, I got you. I appreciate that, but you'll be next. All right. Let me just let Jay finish what he said.
That's all. I just wanted to say before. I'll come back another time. I'll do a run around. Yeah.
No problem. I appreciate you, Seeker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But Jay was in the middle of something, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you soon.
I appreciate that too. I just
in terms of also social welfare and entitlements. Already 30% of our country goes to those socialist
Jim. Hold on. And your mic is kind of loud. Just need to tell you, your mic is kind of loud. I'm sorry, Jay. What was your question again that you wanted to ask?
So I wanted to ask him before we get into him asking me a question. I just want to make sure that he understands what imperialism is. Could you give me a brief definition of what imperialism is, Jim, to make sure that we're on the same page?
Yeah. What do you call it? Yeah. It's Lex Imperial. Like the empire, you're taking over. You're adding new kingdoms, and you're putting them directly underneath your power as a subservient, and they're an extension of that empire.
Okay, so you're kind of like a little bit right about certain things, but I would love you to expound on what do they exhibit. Give me examples of what, to this day in 2026, the tools they use to enact imperialism.
Well, okay, all right. There's many other ways. Okay, so you're leading me to a point. All right, so I'll tell you, economic, military. All right, go ahead. All right, get to your point.
Okay. So the questions that you were asking me, I'm just trying to understand what is anything that I said was incorrect or wrong. If they're implementing the point of the military in the United States is to be an imperialist, to enact harm and destabilize nations and steal resources from other people and make it difficult for other people to live in their nations, which is the reason why vast majority come here in the first place. It's because they don't just come out of here because they just dream a big fucking dream. No, it's been constant tampering in political, economics, military. These things are very much in place, enacted to this day of the U.S. military. And so I'm just trying to understand, what do you disagree with what I stated? Because you're taking those said resources and actually applying them in education, so motherfuckers won't come up here sounding stupid, that would very much help.
Well, I mean, what is necessary to do that? We have poured billions of dollars into aid and into education and into school. Like homelessness is not a money problem. Or any of these things are not a money problem. We give endless amounts, and still it's still not as effective. Whether or not you're saying that, like, what you're saying is that these things are true, they are true. But what do you call it? They're so broad. How am I supposed to attack it?
Hey,
like,
listen,
you know what I mean? Like, how am I not attacking? But how am I supposed to disagree with you?
Because
about it. What you're saying is very good. I agree with it too. I do agree with some of the socialist symptoms. I'm not some crazy person.
Jim, you're just rambling. You were rambling, man. I didn't ask you anything about fucking capitalism. I asked you about what I was talking about, allocating the said resources from the military.
That's what I said. You want to redirect it from
Jim. Please, all due respect, and I'm trying to just be respectful to you, brother. But kindly, I don't know if you're listening to fucking respond, but I need you to listen to comprehend what's saying here, because the reason is you do not know. The reason why
I gave you my answer, and what do you like my answer?
Jim, hold on.
Okay. Where do you want to direct me to? Where do you want me to direct? Okay.
All right.
You
Jim,
just
hold on
brought
just a
up
second.
homelessness. And you just
Jim, you have to let him talk. This is a mod speaking. You have to let him talk. I promise. After he talks, you will be able to get in.
Yeah.
But let Jay talk.
Yeah, let Jay say something, Jim, and then you'll be able to get in. But your mic is kind of loud, which is why you probably don't hear when Jay is trying to respond to you. All right, that's probably your reason.
Insufferable.
But yeah, just put your mic down a little bit, and Jay is going to explain exactly the specifics that you want. All right, cool. He's going to explain the
all right.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Okay.
He's going to explain.
No, he's just filibustering.
No,
he's just filibustering.
He's not.
And when I give an answer he doesn't like.
All right, Jim.
I'm not filibustering any fucking thing. This is my point. This is my contention. How the fuck I filibuster what I just said? Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? You don't even know what you're talking about.
Because you just keep over talking me and not letting me say my point. And when I do give an answer, you just question whether or not I'm stupid because you disagree with that answer. I don't know whether or not you're trying to process your argument while insulting me, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen. You're not making a point, though, bro. Yeah, you're not making a point. Hey,
I just said that these are not money problems. Allocating.
How old are we? How old are we?
What are we doing here?
Okay, all right. Where do you want the money to take? So you want to retake the money from these military, and it's going to be such a good cause.
Okay. So, gentlemen, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Oh my God!
What's wrong with this man? This is
I know.
Fucking, like, listen.
All right. So Jay, I got you.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. We know. All right, so let's do this. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's just bring it back. All right. So Jim, just to wrap up what Jay is saying, he's talking about allocating certain resources. Now you brought up that it's not a money. Let's go with homelessness first. All right, because Jay agrees with me when it comes to homelessness. We have enough money to solve the homeless problem, but we're not doing it. So you said that you agree it's not really a money problem. So what is the contention here? Disagreeing with Jay.
Before you do that, Volcy, I never brought, that wasn't my point at all. Him bringing up homelessness and it doesn't exist basically had nothing to do with what the fuck I was talking about. Had nothing. It's like me talking about apples. He gonna bring up something about fucking oranges, and then he gets mad at me and then say I'm the problem. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, insufferable piece of shit? But I land.
No, you know what? I just try to illustrate a point. I'm giving you an argument, but I guess you don't like arguments, so I guess you know what.
All right, Jim. At this point, I don't know what we're doing here. If you want to have a discussion, Jim, can you give me a second?
Because you're not.
I'm just okay. Go ahead. All right. Where do you want to go?
I got you, Jim. Give me a second. As a matter of fact, hey, Champagne, over on the TikTok. Champagne, are you at least 18? And did you disagree with the number 1 or number 2, or you just wanted to join the conversation?
Yes.
You want to join our witty repartee?
What'd you say, Champagne? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Hey. I said sapase.
Sapase. All right. So you just want to join the conversation? You didn't disagree with number 1 or number 2, right?
Hi, Kay. I know Kay. Let me see. Leftist police are better for society. Do I agree with this?
Policies.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
And why? I'm like, why should I believe in a God? Those are the two topics.
Yeah, those are the topics. Oh, I spelled that wrong. I should have changed. I need to change that. I did spell that wrong. But yeah.
I'm like, why was my ass not even paying attention to that?
Yeah, let me change that right
messaged you, Kayla.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I haven't even checked my messages.
Yes, sir. I was like, let me go ahead and slide.
Because I have not been checking my messages, honey. Because I haven't been on a lot today, so that's probably why.
Yeah, you've been missing
I got
the last couple
on,
of
got
lives.
off.
Gotcha. All right, let's try to get back.
Well, that's because I was moving it. To be fair, I was moving into my new apartment.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
almost
okay,
basically
cool.
finished.
That's what.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and bring it back. All right, so Jim, let's go ahead and bring it back. All right, so we're talking about leftist policies. Well, we've been on number one for a while. I don't know if you want to move on to number two, but number one, it seems that you seem to agree with us. We need to allocate the resources that we have to better benefit our society. You said that homeless is not really a money problem, so we have the money to do it. The issue is political will. Would you agree with that, Jim? Like we don't have the political will to solve homelessness, but we do have the money.
Also an execution. I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about just housing the homeless and allowing them to go out, even though that they may have, say, mental issues or even organizational skills or finance skills to handle their money? Is that going to be addressed?
Okay, cool. Implementation. Cool. So when it comes to implementation. Okay, cool. So when it comes to homelessness, what a lot of research has found is that when people actually get into homes, you'll see a lot of those mental and addiction issues actually decrease because a lot of their mental and addiction issues stem from them being homeless. It's very, very easy to become an addict when you're homeless because you literally have nothing to do. Like think about a day that you have off from work, right? You could sit home, you could play on your PS4 or Xbox, you can watch TV, you can go on Netflix, you can go on the internet and scroll, you can do all that, right? But when you're homeless, you don't have any of that. You have no distractions. So you're essentially out there doing nothing and people are tossing you money. So what do? A lot of these people would either buy drinks in order to pass the time or they buy drugs to pass the time. And that's how they become addicts. But if you're in a home, then that doesn't really happen anymore. Their mental issues as well, because of that you're exposed to the elements, and because we live in a society that's very, very hostile to homeless people. You'll be surprised how many homeless people die because people just attack them out of nowhere. Because we live in a society that dehumanizes the homeless, that causes a lot of issue with their mental health. They don't trust people, they don't want to be around people, and they're hyper vigilant in order to not be victims of violence. You see what I'm saying? So that causes a lot of mental health issues. When they're in a home, you see those type of issues decrease. Now, where to actually put them? Yes, this is what I was saying before. We need to change zoning laws to have more multi-unit housing, to have more apartment buildings where you see residencies. And we can do something where we subsidize their homes for at least 2, 3 to maybe to 6 months while they get themselves on their feet, while they get themselves cleaned up, and while they actually look for work. And we've seen when we actually given people, there was actually a pilot program, I think in California or in Georgia, one of them, they gave homeless people $1,000 a month, no questions asked. And guess what? The majority of them not only found homes, they found jobs, and they were able to clean themselves up and got their mental health issues in check. So it seems that if we literally just giving people money straight up will actually resolve a lot of their issues, or just putting them in a house straight and then giving them money in order to keep that house is going to resolve a lot of their issues. So this is the way we can implement it, and it's been studied that $20 billion a year will be sufficient to do all of this. It's just a political will, in my opinion. All that makes sense, Jim?
I agreed. I would, however, dispute the fact that, say that their skills do get better. Where do they develop this discipline? Where do they develop the skills in order to know to handle their money? It takes time and it takes processing, and it's allowing them just to freely go on there without being certain kind of aids or structures or programs that come and counsel these people into organizing their finances in a workable way. I mean that's my issue.
So
you're relying too much on liberalism. You're allowing these people go.
Here's now, two things.
I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just to go on another area, is what do you think about state hospitals?
State hospitals?
State hospitals for the mentally ill. The society decides that these people that exhibit antisocial behavior do go into state hospitals.
Gotcha. Okay. So I want to answer that in 3 ways. Number one, we can't always assume that people who are homeless are just bad with their money, because the majority of people don't go homeless simply because they're bad with their money. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people who are homeless actually used to have jobs before. A lot of people who are homeless still have jobs. So it's not about them being bad with their money. They're just unhoused. They can't afford to live anywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's the number one thing. But the number two thing I would say is that we can combine this with what I was saying about single payer healthcare, because under single payer healthcare, you do have things such as what I'm studying for, which is counseling. I'm studying to be a mental health counselor, right? But within counseling, you know what we also learned about? Simply mental health counseling is not the only type of counseling that there is. There's also career counseling. There's also financial counseling. All those things can happen, right? And if you have single payer healthcare, where healthcare is basically free at the point of service, then people will be able to seek these counseling service without it coming out of their pocket. You see what I'm saying? So those are the 2 things that we can implement. But the third thing that you were asking about state hospitals, the federal hospitals that were people who had mental health issues at, we need to open those back up. I highly disagree with Reagan when he closed those down, because now we have a homeless crisis of people who are mentally unwell being homeless. So yeah, I agree that we can open those back up, but I would be very, very careful with it. And the reason why I say that is because we all know that people who are people of color, especially Black people, are constantly misdiagnosed. We are constantly misdiagnosed. So we need, if we're going to open those hospitals back up again, we need cultural competency to make sure that the people who are going through mental health stresses, they're just not assuming it's a Black guy, therefore he's just a schizophrenic. We're going to pump him full of drugs when he actually has bipolar disorder. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. We should open it back up. But
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Of course, Kat.
I want to ask a question. If I wanted to be a monk and I wanted to choose homelessness and I wanted to ask people for alms, like for food, so I can continue my practice, you would automatically look at me, from your understanding of things, you will look at me as a stain on this society, or as a something must be mentally ill with me. And therein lies the problem. You can't look at poverty as a sickness, as a bad thing that shouldn't be allowed to be. You know what I mean? That's a huge thing right there. That's casteism. That's being like, we must get rid of there will always be, within capitalism, there will always be a lower caste, a lower class. And that is the problem with capitalism. It is savage. It is about expansionism, exploitation to gain resources. It's not about diplomacy. It's about trying to manipulate people so they can do Western globalist expansionism. Therefore, it is the new type of imperialism and the new type of colonization. And therein lies the problem with capitalism, because it cannot be regulated. Because we have billionaires. We have so many billionaires. They could easily give everybody a Mercedes if they wanted to in this country, but they don't. And therein lies another problem with the system. If you have a bunch of billionaires who can solve the issues, but they don't have to, and there's no obligation for them to, then therein lies the problem. You don't want everybody to be equal in power. You want certain people to have power who apparently earned it. And you want to have cogs in a machine and always have a lower and a higher. And that's where you want things to be. You want a law of the jungle type of mentality. And that leads to people treating homelessness as a disease, which is disgusting to treat homelessness as a disease. I'm not saying mental illness can't lead to homelessness, because it can, but to just treat homelessness itself or poverty itself as a disease, therein lies the problem of America's mental psychology and illness.
No, I don't. I disagree. I don't think we're stigmatizing homelessness or poverty.
You'd be surprised.
It is the behavior and the antisocial behavior of them, like doing drug, like for instance, doing drugs, or like, I don't know, defecating on the street. That's what we don't. That's what we don't
Do
want.
you know we make
like we understand. We understand homelessness.
You know we make
we understand poverty. But the thing is, the social, the behavior, and everything surrounding it is not what we want in our society. And I think using
Jim, hold on. Give me one second. Okay. I'm sorry, because I think Kay wanted to add something on. That's again, your mic is kind of loud, that's why you can't hear her. But Kay, what were you saying again? Say that again.
No, because he was saying that we're not trying to criminalize or
well, okay, you're kind of dropping out, Kay. Okay, sorry about that. You're kind of dropping out. You may need to swipe out and come back in. But Jim, I think what Michaela was saying was that you were talking about that we're not trying to stigmatize or criminalize the homeless, but that's just untrue. We see stigmatization and hostility and legislation from not only municipalities but state governments that are hostile to the homeless all the time, such as pushing out, like throwing away all of their belongings, having rules against certain encampments. They can't, camp certain places, things like that. All these things kind of are hostile to the homeless, and it stigmatizes them, where people now think that homelessness is not a systemic issue, but an issue of someone just personally failed, that they just chose to be homeless. You'd be surprised how many people out there believe that people are literally out there just choosing to be homeless. And almost no one is choosing that. Almost no one is choosing that life. You know what I mean?
And to speak on, you wanted to mention drugs and people that get caught up on drugs. Well, do you know that these rehab facilities and these other things, they get heavily funded for the number of people they have in their buildings?
Yes.
So they're eager to get people in those buildings. And by saying that all homeless people are mentally ill, which is not always the case for every homeless person, is like a way to funnel them into those private organizations that do supposedly rehab and other rehabilitation things, but get them hooked on methadone and other things of that particular nature. So there's a farm going on. There can be a farming going on of people just to get profit off of people, just like the private prison industry does this with people. It finds people that it wants to make, criminals and stuff like that, so it can fill those prisons, so it can make money off of those people and basically put them in slavery. It's basically legal under the 13th Amendment, by the way. So in that comprehension, slavery is still around right now, because those private prisons are getting funded and getting people have to fill those slots in there for them to get funded. So we're farming people. Is that humane to farm people off of their addiction or off of their poverty? No, it's not humane to farm them off of that. So my point exactly. Capitalism is savage.
Dude, you're talking capitalism, but we're talking about another thing. I'll address that. But what I'm saying is that another thing that you're saying, that these people that the mere idea that if you're in a public place and these people have encampments, should we allow it?
I'm sorry, and the people having what?
You said public encampments. Do you think that's okay for them to say occupy a sidewalk, to occupy a parking lot, and all that, have their tents and cook?
The thing is,
clean. It's a danger.
But Jim, the thing is not about it being okay or not okay. They have nowhere else to go. That's the issue. They have nowhere else to go. So it's not an issue of them being in our way or being a nuisance or them being dangerous to us. It's the fact that we live in a society that does not do anything for them. They have nowhere else to go. So instead of hold on. Instead of just making it illegal for them to be there or being hostile towards them, let's help them out. Let's get them into housing. Let's get them into these programs that are getting them off of drugs, and let's fund it and staff it in a way that's that can be funded and staffed well. Because the issue with California is the fact that they created this program, but they didn't staff it well. They didn't fund it well. There were multiple structural problems with it, where there were some programs that existed but it only went as far as, helping them out to see where a home is and not actually get them into one. You see what I'm saying? So there are all these issues there. So we need to actually put a robust program that will fund it properly, staff it properly, have the actual housing available by changing certain laws and getting them into certain counseling programs so they can get career counseling, financial counseling, and mental health counseling. We need to do all these robustly at the same time, not just one at a time. You see what I'm saying?
You're saying that there's no programs or there's no availability for these homeless people to get homes. There's a lot of there is already programs on the books. There's Section 8. There's the urban housing development. There is a number of ways, and like Habitat for Humanity. What do you call it? Homeless relocation agencies. I mean,
let me ask you a question, Jim.
They do exist.
I got you. Let me ask you a question, Jim. Let me ask you one question. Jim, let me ask you one question. How does Section 8 actually work? When you sign up for Section 8, what happens?
What do you call it? It's subsidizing the government so that what do you call it? It's a subsidy so that the owner gets the owner of the property gets subsidized, and whoever is the tenant gets the lower rate.
Correct. But when you sign up for it, what actually happens?
Yeah, you go in a lottery system.
Exactly, it's a lottery system. So when you say people just go on Section 8 and it's a lottery,
there's other agencies before that, temporary housing. Mm-hmm. Like we had that in California. Yeah, it did not work. We have those in New York, and these areas in New York that provide these temporary housing for these homeless people end up becoming drug dens, end up becoming.
Jim, do you not understand that if wealth equality was actually working, there would be less homeless, and they wouldn't have to sit on large waiting lists where they are subjected to sometimes harsh environments where they are tempted and they go through depression and stress and everything else like that. Those are long waiting lists, and those are long lotteries to hope to get lucky to be able to be eligible for. In the meantime, there's a lot of suffering there, and there's a lot of problems there. But if there was wealth equality, like a fair minimum wage, then stuff like this wouldn't really be a problem. And then on top of that, if we go into like what can a person who is a felon get a job? Why can't a person who is a felon get a job? And what kind of jobs can felons actually get? That's a whole nother issue of a problem right there. So there's that problem and aspect as well. So it stands to say that capitalism is not fair and equal. It's very savage. And that
I never said it was fair. And you know what, to a degree, to your point, I think you're actually right. I think that it is a little bit savage. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that's the system that, what do you call it, has succeeded and has continued for the very long. What you're talking about is redistribution of wealth and resources to other people.
Yeah, why not? But the thing is, Jim, when you come to the programs you're talking about that happened in California and New York, yeah, you're correct. They didn't work out well. But why didn't they work out well? They didn't work out well because there's something wrong with the homes. They didn't work out well because of structural problems, structural issues. A lot of like, for example, in New York, they did one thing to try to get them into temporary housing, right? And then, just like how you said, they became drug dens. Did they give them counseling for drugs? No. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can't do one thing without doing the other thing. You need to address all of the structural issues. In California, there's programs for housing, but do those houses even exist? They don't. California is very, very underbuilt when it comes to housing. So yeah, I can get into, if I'm homeless in California, I can get into the housing program, right? But are they actually going to find me a house? No, because there's no housing.
Yeah, no. You see no. You're talking. Are you talk? What are you necessarily talking about? Housing? Are you talking about apartments? Are you talking about shelter? Are we talking about actually having a home or raising? When you say housing, it kind of implies it implies certain ideas. Like, are you talking about the descriptive housing or the prescriptive housing? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm talking about the descriptive.
The
housing.
Ideal.
I'm talking about the descriptive housing. Just an apartment.
Descriptive housing.
Even an apartment. You can get into.
There are you could get to the apartment whether or not that you are able to stay there. That's a different thing. And a lot of these things too is that these programs, right, have failed because I'll tell you why. It's because it is vendorized. It is vendorized to private entities or private corporations, on which that there was the surveillance or like the what do you call it, the evaluation or the licensing board does not maintain standards, and that's the problem with California and New York. And when you're talking about that, if we're talking about maintaining standards, the also thing is like eventually when we go out there and we try to designate these people are for the program or these people against the program, there's always going to be an issue of someone that is going to be left out.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll always come to the idea that whether or not it was like racially influenced. And you know what I mean? The problems are inherent. And the thing is, what you're talking about is that are we talking about further expansion and further authoritarian rights to the government? Because then eventually it's all like we can vendor them out, but then these people have to willingly enter the program. What do we do now? Do we make it that you don't have a choice? That if you fit the certain criteria that you are forced into these programs? I mean that's the thing. It's also like a civil rights issue. The programs are inherent and structurally there are problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean availability, they still have those. They still have somewhere to go to.
Yeah, right. What I'm saying is that sure, they have somewhere to go to, right? Like for example, if I say that you can come to my house and everybody can get a plate of food to eat. Yeah, sure, you can come to my house and everybody get a plate of food to eat. But the moment that my refrigerator runs out and I have 1,000 people left outside, what's gonna happen to those 1,000 people? They're asked out. That's the issue that we have with programs like the one in California, like the one in New York. There's just not enough because California is highly underbuilt. There's a structural issue there. Over in New York, they didn't place in other policies that will help the people out. There's an issue there. So of course they fail. Like when we look at these programs, right, and say, oh, they always fail. If you half-ass a program, of course it's gonna fail.
I also
okay, go ahead.
I also want to bring up real quick the fact that you mentioned, these homeless people on the streets doing cooking and having tents and stuff like that. Do you know historically when we had shanty towns and stuff of that nature, they got destroyed because people wanted to build stuff upon them and they wanted to have that land. So all the shanty towns and places where people could go to tent and to have create a little village of people who are in the same kind of boat of poverty, they got destroyed. And largely, these also were also done to other communities as well. Communities of color were also destroyed because back then they didn't like people of color and they destroyed their towns that they built. So, that's just an example of how, when I talk about wealth equality, I don't want to just talk about how much wealth every person has. I'm talking about the fairness between the higher and the lower class as being treated as equal human beings, not as something as, oh, I'm more better than you because I have more than you. You know what I mean? And that if we were to let them have a piece of like a field and be able to tent and be able to, do what they want to do, then it would be different. But because they have to live in the city and they get treated like dirt and they're for other people that are wealthy, they're looked at as being in the way, diseased, mentally ill, or on drugs. That particular thing gets cast out to the any person who immediately becomes homeless. Those stigmas come out right on them, and that therein lies in a problem within this American psyche. Is why are we treating homeless not like human beings when we should treat them like human beings? And if we don't have the problem treating them like human beings, why do we have a problem with them having their own little space in their own little town? Let's ask that question.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to consider. I mean, dude, having people just settle on the land is not a good idea. Just a homestead is just it's kind of dude, it would not, the structure and the form that it would take, it would not be efficient. You want to end up like Calcutta or something like that. I mean, we're not stigmatizing the homeless. Everybody understands that that these people are homeless, but what they're addressing is that the number of people that are homeless have these issues. Okay, we're not necessarily not treating people badly. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I lost it.
No, the thing is, Jim, I think you're really underestimating just how cruel people can be to the homeless. You know what I mean? Like you like it happens all the time. People literally treat them like they're less than human, or that they're choosing to be out there for the most part, and they're really not. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these laws, like for example, what's going on in California right now with the current mayor. All he's saying is that we're going to clear out these encampments. We're going to stop the druggies from being in front of your children's street. We're going to stop the feces from being all over on the street. And people are all rah about it. He has no plan on what to do with these people. He's just treating them like caricatures. You see what I'm saying? So there's no actual plan there to actually help these folks out. He's just saying that we're going to get rid of the undesirables. And we all know what type of language that leads to. You feel me? But guys, it's about 9 o'clock right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get off, guys. I gotta go ahead and get out of here. Jim, you can come back tomorrow. Guys. No problem. Come back tomorrow, all right?
All right, take care.
No problem. All right, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, but I do appreciate y'all for being up. Once again, I promise I'm gonna do the manosphere stuff soon. We're gonna get some man-to-man Mondays happening soon. We're gonna talk about diaspora wars as well. Got a lot of plans coming down the pipe. Pause. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. And as always, be soft, be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible and thoughtful. Everybody be soft.